This week there was some interesting drops. I'm not gonna lie. I put four on here that I thought were definitely worth mentioning, but the one that I think we both know we want to talk about, "Happiness" by SARS, Asake, and Gunna. Um, I didn't know what I thought it was gonna sound like, but I'm interested to see what you thought of the song. Like, what did you think?
It kind of sounded how I thought it was gonna sound, to be honest. Like I didn't think Gunna was gonna have a heavy verse on here. I don't think he's all the way comfortable in that pocket yet. But I think him being exposed to this type of music, this type of vibe is definitely gonna help him out in the next couple of years because now he can switch up his style. And I don't feel like the at least the flow, the BPM that he raps at most songs is that far off from Afro
Yeah.
beats on my piano. I feel like it's a pretty mellow tone, and he can. I mean, when he speeds it up too, I feel like he can hop on those on my piano beats if he really stretches his ability. But I think it sounded real good. It was a quick 8 from Gunna, but the rest of the song was fire too. The beat was fire. So
Yeah, SARS is really him, bro. Like you being like introduced to that space, you start to see like who are the most influential people in there, and like he's definitely one of them. Like he
mhm,
made Mona Lisa with Chris Brown and
mhm.
Lil J, so that was a hit he just had. And so if what the fuck if
I don't know why it keeps doing that.
if anybody was able to pull these two together, I'm glad it was him. And I think I agree with you. I don't think he's all the way comfortable in that pocket either. Because I think if we're gonna say who had the better verse, Ashake had the better. He floated better on this to me, in my opinion. But Gunna held his own. It was a good song, and I'm more interested to see like how far is he gonna push it. You know what I'm saying? Is Gunna gonna
Mhm.
be the one to do a full Afrobeats project? And I've been talking about everybody else. He might be.
I think he might be. I think he might just step into that lane, or at least I feel like he'll maybe put out like a little 5 pack, 7 pack, something crazy of him testing stuff. Because I feel like he's known to do that, just try stuff.
For sure. So we'll keep an eye out. We'll see how it goes. But this next release is the one. It wasn't my favorite of the weekend, but it's the one I'm most interested to talk about with you. Dave, Jack Harlow, and Lyrical Lemonade drop a single. Stop giving me advice. This is the fourth single leading up to the Lyrical Lemonade album, All Is Yellow, and I think it's worth noting that this project is releasing through Def Jam, which I think is
Mm.
interesting. What did you think of the song, and what do you think of this album coming up?
I thought the song was pretty good. I think Jack Harlow's been on a little run, bro. Like verse wise, he's been killing stuff. But I definitely liked it, and I think the album is just gonna be interesting. I'm really waiting for it because I want to see who else he has on it because he's had a lot of good features already and a lot of good artists on it. And I mean, I was getting into the video too. Like the visual was real cool, honestly. Like, but I also like seeing Dave really starting to mix with the U.S. artists more too. That's always good.
This
But
was his this was
even
his
in
first American collab. I forgot to mention that.
oh really?
Yeah, which
I
I
didn't
think
even know
is
that.
is that's kind of crazy that this is the first one.
Yeah, and for it to be Jack Harlow, but I feel
Right,
like style wise, not that far off. Like they're real bars guys, but that's crazy. I did not know that was his first one.
right.
That's crazy. Okay,
I was
okay.
like, wait, but Drake did the song, but Drake's not American. Drake's
Yeah, Drake's Canadian. Drake's
Drake,
Canadian.
Drake's not American, but yeah, I enjoyed the song. I'll say it wasn't my favorite verse from either of them. I'll be the
Yeah.
first to say that. Jack Harlow has better. I like Jack Harlow's collab with Drake more than I like this collab. Um, and Dave has had way better rap verses to me, but I feel like as an introduction to an American crowd, good enough. It's good enough. But the album All Is Yellow, I feel like I'm talking about this from a completely selfish standpoint. I think the way Lyrical Lemonade moves in the music space is something I am going to take a lot of influence from when I'm trying to do this. Just because they're, and I think I said this to you when we started, like this is I want to build a music company. I don't want to be in the music industry, if that makes
Right.
sense. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's created his own brand that has been so like to its own and created its own lane that now he can just try and do different things, right? So like he did the pre-order on the album last night with merch and the vinyl, and I don't know what that is, bro. That's so
I'm trying to figure it out too. Hey, bro.
but he dropped t-shirts and the vinyl a couple of days ago, and I already like imagine how many units he's gonna move by just selling merch in the vinyl because he has like that diehard fan base. So I think this is like it's a test almost. Like if Def Jam gets a huge first week release or a huge release from this album strictly off the Lyrical Lemonade fan base, it's gonna, I think, change their perspective about who they're like how they're gonna release albums. Like this isn't an artist releasing an album. This is a company licensing with Def Jam to do like a collaboration type of deal with the biggest artist in the world. And I think that's interesting because I can't think of the closest thing I can think to something like this is like a DJ or a producer
Yeah.
album, but it's not really that anyway. It's not like a DJ Khaled album. It's different.
Or like a DJ drama album, like none of that. It's not like a Gangsta Girls.
Yeah,
I think it's comparable though. Like I feel
yeah,
like if you're getting all these artists on here, even if he's not doing production on it, because he doesn't do much production music wise, but I still think the album is gonna be crazy. Like I feel like there's gonna be really good songs on there. I hope there's at least another Juice song on there for sure. Like I always like hearing from Juice, especially when it's with Cole Bennett. Like I feel like anything he put out with Cole was always quality. So
yeah, yeah. It'll be interesting. It's supposed to drop. I think in January was the drop date. I forget. He put the date out, but it's coming next year. Um, we'll look out for that. I had two more things I wanted to talk about. Fireboy DML dropped a 2 pack. Fireboy DML has been having it's been a quiet year for him because he hasn't put out projects, but he's been smoking his features, if I'm being honest. Like a lot of features he's put out. Fire Gun with Odumodu Block. He put out a song with Olamide, which was really good.
mhm,
There was a couple other ones, but the 2 pack he put out this weekend, Outside and Oma Sima. Outside was featuring Black Bones, and to me, that's a banger. That made the playlist already. But
banging.
I enjoyed these. I enjoyed these singles. I'm ready for the next Fireboy project. I think it's going to be miles better than the last one, if we're being honest, and it'll probably come at the top of next year. So
When was his last project release? Was that 2021? You know.
I think so. I can look it up. But did you hear either of these?
Yeah, I heard outside. I started listening on my Sima, but it just wasn't for me
Yeah.
personally. I thought
Uh,
the Black Bones is definitely gonna become one of my favorite artists over these next couple of months because that album, his album, was definitely up there for me. Like I feel like I didn't mention it because I knew you were gonna say something about it, but that one was crazy, bro. It was crazy.
Yeah, Fireboy's last album was in 2022. It was last
Okay,
year, and it was Playboy, and it had Bandana with Asake, which is a good song. Um, he had Compromise with Rema, and then Peru was on there. He been throwing Peru on everything since that shit came
everything,
out.
bro.
But yo, YBNL Nation slowly but surely becoming a powerhouse in Afrobeats. Olamide, Ashake, Fireboy DML. That's a crazy three right there. I'm wondering who the next artist on that label is gonna be because they ain't missed yet, if we being honest.
Shit.
Okay. Thames. Thames, not an angel. Um I ain't got much to say, bro. It's a Thames single. It sounds good. Like it sounds like every other Thames single. Thames is how do you say it? Thames is like hot sauce. You put it on anything. It's great. Like it's a good
It's
song. But
like hot sauce, bro.
I'm just ready for the project at this point. What did you think of the song, if anything?
I felt the same way. Like I feel like her sound hasn't really switched much, which I'm not asking it to. She could keep it right there, but it's like it was what I was expecting from her. So I
Yeah.
don't know, not much to say.
You know what I want from Thames? I want, and this is selfish, and this is just me being a fan. I want to see her do more like interviews or content or press or something like that. Like she doesn't post, and I'm not saying artists are obligated to post on social and shit like that, but it's like I feel like we don't really know anything about her. Like it's just like she drops fire music and then just like she'll be at the Met Gala taking pictures and then that's it. It's like there's nothing really about her on the internet, I feel like. I wish she would just do more like interviews, if anything. She did one with Angie Martinez that I liked. And she told some crazy stories. Like she went to jail in some African country for 3 days. It was like, and she was telling the story. It was crazy. I'm like, I want to hear more of this. You know what I'm saying? Like the music is good, but she's one of those people I would love to learn more about, if anything.
Yeah, it seems like she's just super ducked off, like, or even just like a kind of, I don't want to call her insecure, but kind of like an insecure, shy artist. Like even when I saw her live, she didn't have this presence of like big energy, it just seemed like she was there singing her songs, like she was messing with it, of course. But I don't know. I think she would have some interesting things to say as far as interviews.
Okay.